YouTube, how the fuck you doing? Hey guys, Nadeshot. Today I'm bringing a brand new video. What you guys are gonna be watching is a Yemen hardpoint match. This was in an 8s lobby. For anyone that doesn't know what 8s is, basically a bunch of pro players just get into a lobby. They pick 2 captains, and then those 2 captains pick teams, just like pickup basketball. It's literally the exact same concept. You pick players, you plan a team, and then you just practice. This is something to do when your team isn't on, or if you don't really have anything to do and you don't want to play public matches. It's a lot of fun. You get to play with a lot of other people. You get to learn new things about the game, and it just, like I said, it's genuinely fun. It's competitive, and I really enjoy it. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is the inconsistencies in Black Ops 2, because Black Ops 2 is probably going to go down as one of the most inconsistent Call of Duty titles in the franchise. And I can tell you exactly why that is, or I can tell you why I believe it is, because everything I'm saying is a theory. I am not on the developer staff at Treyarch. I do not work behind the scenes. I have no access to that kind of information. But I have a very good understanding of how game mechanics actually work, and that's what I'm going to talk about today, because I've been getting a lot of flack again for using the Scorpion on online scrims, and the reason why people give me flack for that is because for whatever reason, people think that the Scorpion is better online than it is when you go to a tournament and play on LAN. For my viewers that don't know what the difference between online and LAN is, basically LAN stands for local area network, and when you go to a tournament, you guys are all playing on the same router. There's no internet connection involved. You guys are all playing on the same connection. You're all wired into a router or a hub so that you can play on in the same server without needing like Xbox Live or something like that. And a lot of people say that the Scorpion is a lot better online than it is on LAN. And I can tell you right now that that is 100% false. That is not true. Guns do not just magically get worse when you're playing on LAN. Just because you are not playing on an internet connection, that is not going to change the stat of the gun in the back end of Treyarch's programming. Because every gun is programmed to have a certain amount of damage, to have a certain amount of range, to have a certain fire rate, and those are things that cannot change. Those are things that we cannot affect ourselves. That is something that is coded and developed and programmed into the game, that is a factual stat that can't be changed. So when people say that the Scorpion is better online and then it is worse on LAN, and that's why they call it a quote-unquote warrior gun, that it's for warriors, people who just have good internet can get away with being good with the Scorpion. That's kind of people's defense when I state that the fact that guns don't change just because you're going on to LAN. And then people tell me, well, there's lag compensation, hosting affects that, which I don't deny that there is lag compensation, and I don't deny that there is connection advantage, but that does not affect one gun differently than it would affect any other gun. If I have a good connection and I'm getting an advantage over you, I'm going to have an advantage over you with any gun that I use. Not just because I'm using the Scorpion. The reason why people complain about the Scorpion being a warrior gun is just because you kill so quickly due to the fire rate, and that's with any Call of Duty title. Every gun has its pros and cons. The MSMC is a more powerful gun. It has better range, but it has better range. It's more powerful, but the fire rate is lower than the Scorpion, and that's kind of the trade-off. The Scorpion has high fire rate, lower damage, and lower range. So every gun has its pros and cons. So I hate the fact that there is this misconception that the Scorpion is a warrior gun and the MSMC is the only SMG that shows skill, because it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why people have worked this idea of being a warrior and having an advantage because you're using a Scorpion. Yeah, you're going to have an advantage using the Scorpion, but the advantage that you're going to have is the faster fire rate. There's not much recoil, but you have lower range and you have a less damage. So there is a trade-off. And that kind of segues into my main point of this commentary. The reason why Black Ops 2 is inconsistent, in my opinion, like I said, this is only a theory. I'm not on the developer staff. I don't know the ins and outs of the game on a coding level. But the reason why I believe the game is inconsistent is because every virtual character, like I'm shooting right there right now, has hitboxes. And basically what hitboxes are you cannot see hitboxes, obviously. That's on the back end. But when you shoot somebody, you are registering a certain amount of damage depending on where your bullets are hitting. So if there is multiple hitboxes, that means there's for certain guns, there's more damage to the head, there's more damage to the chest, there's less damage to the legs and the arms. And with hitboxes, you could be getting hit markers when you're shooting somebody. Hit markers are different from hitboxes, guys. I just want to make sure you guys understand and that's clarified. Like I said, hitboxes are kind of virtual pinpoints on each character's body that tells the game how much damage you should allocate to the player when you're shooting them. So you could be shooting somebody and getting tons of hit markers, and you're wondering why you're not killing them. And that's because you're not dealing the full amount of damage that you would be dealing to the player if you were shooting them in, let's say, the chest hitbox or the head hitbox. And the reason why people ask me, well, why is Black Ops 2 more inconsistent than any other Call of Duty? If I recall correctly, in the past, when Black Ops 2 was being talked about a lot, when it was a brand new game, if I'm not mistaken, Treyarch was telling us that they have a new system where there's more hitboxes on each player. You know, it's a more precise shooting feedback system. So when people get 4 or 5 bursts with the M8, there's a lot of different variables that go into that. I'm going to try and speed this up because this game's going to be ending. You shoot an M8, it's a burst weapon. So there's multiple bullets coming out of the gun at each time. And the reason why you might not get a kill because you're getting multiple hit markers is 2 reasons. One, you might not be hitting the correct hitboxes. You might be hitting lower damage hitboxes, like in the chest, or I'm sorry, in the legs, in the arms, where you're not dealing the full amount of damage that you could be. And also, the bursts of your M8, those are all separate bullets, and not all those bullets are hitting the player. So even if one bullet out of your 4 bullet burst with the M8 can be hitting an enemy, and you could be getting a hit marker from that, that doesn't mean you're dealing out the same amount of damage as you would be if you were hitting all 4 bullets in that burst in the correct hitbox, in the most ideal hitbox. There isn't a wrong or right hitbox, but there are hitboxes that deal more damage and get you a kill faster. So I kind of hope this commentary clears up the misconception of this game being inconsistent, or this game being for only online warriors and certain guns aren't as good on LAN as they are online. It's just a huge misconception. People don't really think of the game as the science it actually is. You know, all this makes sense. It just seems inconsistent because even I rage, I get frustrated, I get upset due to connection and killing issues. But the reason that is because of multiple hitboxes and inconsistent hit markers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think, if you agree with this, if you disagree with this, if you have any other reasoning, because I would love to have like a good debate or an argument about this. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, like I said, and YouTube. We'll see you fudging later.